Yes, I've seen the commissioning plaque. The Tianjin-class assault ships were designed to enforce the Colonial Protection Act. The first came off the lines in '93. In theory, we can patrol independently. A Marine battalion and a dropship squadron can handle any problem on the ground. And we've got Park's fabricators. We can make whatever ammo, parts, and weapons we need. The old Conestoga and Bougainville transports had to restock at logistical flotillas. If the UPP gets restless, things change. Endeavor's a transport. We've got kinetics and nukes for planetary bombardment, and enough Dews and ASATs to roast pirates and mercs. But a real warship or a squadron of strike bombers would shred this beast into confetti. That headgear is traditional for Weyland-Yutani interface pilots, going back to the deep-range exocolony missions a century ago. I'm going to assume the synth pilot wasn't wearing it. Personally, I wouldn't get near the cockpit of those things. Dropships can't maneuver for shit, but those Weyland shuttles are just fancy bricks. All you can do is aim them at the ground and hope the retros stop you before you bounce off. You know they weren't even designed for what they do? Sanriku Heavy Industries markets the D-Series light-duty interface craft as an SSTO with re-entry capability, but the original model was designed to work purely in Atmo, using ground effect. Did it stop them from selling it as a shuttle? Of course not. Sanriku is a division of Weyland-Yutani after all.
Been looking for that banner. Should be hung up in the briefing room. Somebody must have got drunk and grabbed it. When I find out who, I'll feed their ass to a lion worm. Yo, listen up. I ain't gonna quiz your knowledge. If you got through boot, you know it. 101 years ago, they renamed the USMC the Colonial Marines. For a long-ass while, we operated as a U.S. national service under United America's Allied Command. After the Colonial Protection Act, they got serious about force integration, renamed us the United America's Colonial Marines, stepped up recruitment outside North America. Our mission's the same, the interstellar force and readiness, solving the operational and logistical challenges of assaulting and securing an unfriendly and potentially uninhabitable planetoid with only upwell support. You got it? Yeah, I heard about that. Benoist Henderson Station was a fuel depot at Kappa Reticuli. Weyland-Yutani says Hyperdyne mercenaries sabotaged it. Hyperdyne says one of Weyland's own bioweapons got loose. You figure that out. Either way, the depot blew up. 1,000 civilians died, food shipments got delayed for months. Shit like that, why they passed the Colonial Protection Act in '87. After the Frontier War, everybody wised up to how far the megacorps had gone. The further from Earth they moved, the more they figured they could ignore governments and act like them in their own selves. Hire private armies and send them at each other. The CPA authorized the expansion of the Corps. Now, we come out here, patrol, and make sure the companies are playing nice, following the law, paying their taxes, and leaving the little people out of their bosta.
Marine, I heard you got scans of a facehugger. Let me see. A well-preserved specimen. I'm going to pass this to Esther for analysis. We have a lot to learn about Xenomorph XX-121's life cycle. Ovomorphs, eggs, and the facehuggers that hatch from them are easy to contain and study. Once the parasitic phase ends in a chest burster, it gets hard. Adult forms are hostile. Acid blood melts autopsy equipment. Studies are complicated by the DNA reflex. The host parasitized by a xenomorph changes the morphology and behavior of the adult form. Runner and prowler morphs breed from quadruped pack and herd animals, dogs, cattle. Drones and warriors, they come from humans. That's why civilians mistake them for the real form of Xenos. In reality, we've got no idea what the original form of Xenomorph XX-121 was.
You pulled data off a company tablet. Excellent. Allow us to decrypt. It contained an InfoSec bulletin to employees. Unsecured electronic records may be cracked by the Colonial Marines' intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance service. We applaud their foresight. Commissars formed after the Frontier War. With the passage of the Colonial Protection Act, we provided oversight to eliminate corporate influence on the Colonial Marines. Over time, our mandate expanded to most intelligence tasks. Strategically, we enjoy all the sources you'd expect, from cyber warfare backdoors to interstellar keyhole probes. Tactically, we supervise Marine sniper and recon teams. Frontline Marines often mistrust Commissar's motivation, which is regrettable. We all serve in our own ways. Oh, your family is doing quite well, by the way. I thought you'd want to know. Dr. Honecker's non-disclosure agreement. Interesting. Weyland-Yutani didn't name the facility he was assigned to. There's nothing about Pala Station or his specific duties. Its liabilities and penalties, all work belongs to the company, and so on. The closest they get to describing Pala Station's experiments on xenomorphs is a mention of hazardous conditions. Given the nature of your duties, you hereby forfeit any right to workplace injury compensation. It's interesting that Dr. Honecker was unaware of Site 2, these xenoarchaeological ruins the company acquired pathogen from, 2 completely isolated task cells, each unaware of what the other was working on, or even of the other team's presence. Excellent operational security.
You scanned the manifest near the Wayland ship? May I? It details a series of 2-way flights. On trips from LV-895 to Katanga, creatures from the moon were the cargo. On returns, the items were cryogenic suspension pod, loaded. Live ovomorph sample, 4. It is curious these pods are of uniform manufacture, not a field modification or expedient improvisation. They appear to be the result of an extended design process by experts in hypersleep technology. And they were designed for one specific cargo, xenomorph eggs. These devices were mass-produced, not for Pala Station but for general use. Weyland-Yutani might have many eggs in transit or storage across the frontier. I have seen this headgear in your combat recordings. It is worn by Weyland-Yutani's security synthetics. Human form androids are used for many applications, from administration to combat. Personal and corporate security are historically among the most popular fields. One of the earliest mass-produced security models was Weyland-Yutani's Davis from the late 2130s. Security synthetics often possess limited and inflexible intellects. Strict adherence to orders makes them preferable for riot control and strike-breaking. They cannot sympathize with those they are deployed against. Weyland-Yutani used many security synthetics at Pala Station. Perhaps this was because xenomorphs do not perceive synthetics as a threat or potential host. Unless attacked, they ignore androids. May I examine your scan of Cynthia's server hardware? She was a curious variation of the mother computer concept. Mother systems have existed since the early period of exocolonization. They are immobile, mainframe-based artificial intelligences that regulate all systems on a spacecraft. The premier example is Weyland-Yutani's Mother series, which lent their name to all AIs of the type. Competing brands include Siegsen's Apollo and Hyperdyne's Proxy. Compared to synthetics, mother systems are many times more intelligent and capable. However, they have rudimentary socialization programming. You would find them cold and uncommunicative, while a human crew travels in hypersleep. A ship's mother system works with a synthetic partner like myself to maintain the vessel.
Oh, shit. Sorry, That's from one of the mutated Leon 895s. The things Herrera called stalkers. Leons were one of the species Paula Station tested pathogen on. Mark Pryor's pet project. They're native to LV-895. They're cats with chameleon skin and 6 legs. I guess that's hard to see in the mutants. 2 of the legs turn into stabby things, and their heads split into tentacles. Pathogen amps up the Leon's color-changing ability. The mutation allows them to show multiple colors and blend almost instantly. 2 pathogen Leons got loose on Paula Station. A lot of people died. Funny thing, I ended up killing them both. Seeing this, it still freaks me out.
Oh, thanks. I got distracted and left that out. I'll grab it later. Fulminium's a metamaterial, engineered in a lab for some specific combination of durability, friction, thermal tolerance, whatever. It's copyright and trademark of Armat battlefield systems, using their weapons along with a bunch of other materials, plastics, more conventional alloy powders. All that gets fed into Endeavor's fabricators. I load up a blueprint on the computer, press print, and in minutes you have a new weapon. Never fired, just for you. Nice, huh? For 200 years, the Corps has been trying to get our logistics to this point. Anything you want, I can make on demand for materials and bulk storage. Weapons, ammunition, maintenance parts, chow hall trays, anime figurines, whatever.